Have you ever felt like you're literally drowning in a sea of textbooks and required readings? Yeah, if you're nodding along, you are definitely not alone. So today, we're going to tackle that feeling head-on. We're going to turn that overwhelm into a superpower, exploring how to read smarter, not harder, and take notes that actually, stick in your brain. Let's dive in.
And look, this isn't just me saying it. A college student, Christopher Naldini, he absolutely nailed it with this quote. Feeling swamped is pretty much the default setting in college, right? With so much information flying at you from all directions, it's totally normal to feel like you're just trying to keep your head above water.
So just how much are we talking about here? Well, if you've got a full course load, you could be looking at about 10 to 15 hours of reading every single week. Yeah, that's a part-time job. It becomes pretty clear, pretty fast, that the study habits that worked in high school, they might need a serious upgrade for this new reality.
So that really is the big question, isn't it? How in the world do you handle all of that without getting completely buried? Well, the good news is it's not impossible. There are proven strategies that really work, and it all begins with just a small but powerful shift in how you think about reading itself.
Okay, first things first. We have to reframe what reading is. It is not a passive chore you just have to get through. Think of it more like a workout for your brain. It has real, measurable effects. Every time you read for class, you're actively building a stronger, faster, better mind.
And this isn't just some motivational poster quote. There's some really cool science to back this up. A study from Emory University found that reading a novel actually increases the connectivity in your brain. A real biological change happens. And get this, that effect lingers for days after you've finished the book. You are literally rewiring your brain for the better. How cool is that?
So what are the real-world benefits of this brain workout? Well, the more you read, the sharper all of your academic tools become. We're talking a bigger vocabulary, a wider base of general knowledge, even better spelling. Your verbal fluency gets a huge boost. It's truly a foundational skill for success, no matter what you end up studying.
So, knowing all that, how do we make every single reading session actually count? The secret is to shift from being a passive reader to an active one. And we've got the perfect tool for that. It's called the SQ3R Method. And trust me, this thing is a game changer. Now, before we get into the nuts and bolts of the method, let's just be clear on what we mean by active reading. It means you're not just letting the words wash over you. You're getting involved. The best way to think about it is like you're having a conversation with the author. You're asking them questions, you're hunting for answers, and you're really digging into the material.
All right, here it is, the SQ3R Toolkit. It stands for Survey, Question, Read, Recite, and Review. So first, you survey the text. You skim the titles, the headings, the intro, just to get the lay of the land. Then, you turn those headings into questions. What is the main point of this section? As you read, your mission is to find the answers to your own questions. After that, you recite. You actually say the answers out loud. It really helps. Finally, you review everything to lock it all into your memory. It's a simple but super powerful cycle.
Okay, so you've actively read the material. That's a huge win. But how do you make sure you remember it for the midterm, or even just for class next week? That is where effective note-taking comes in. Let's talk about how to take notes that are specifically designed to defeat what scientists call the forgetting curve.
So here is the key idea. Taking notes is not just about writing stuff down. It's about creating a personalized study guide for your future self. It's a tool that you can use over and over again to review the material. The way you organize your notes can make all the difference between remembering something and forgetting it.
And if you need a little motivation for why this is so important, check this out. This is the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve in action. It's a well-known principle in psychology that shows if we don't actively review new information, we lose a shocking amount of it, like 60 to 75% in just 2 days. 2 days! Your notes are your #1 weapon against this.
So we know we need organized notes that we can review easily. But what does that actually look like? Well, this brings us to one of the most famous and effective systems ever created, the Cornell Method. It is absolutely brilliant because it forces you to review by building it right into the layout of the page.
This structure itself is incredibly simple but so effective. You just divide your page into 3 parts. The main big column on the right is for taking your actual notes during the lecture or while you read. The smaller column on the left is for keywords and questions. And that little box at the bottom, that's for a quick summary of the whole page. And here's the play-by-play. During class, you record your notes in that main right-hand column.
Then, pretty soon after class, you go back and reduce those notes into keywords or questions in that left column. Then you write a quick 1 or 2 sentence summary at the bottom. Now here's the magic. To review, you cover up the main notes on the right and you try to explain the concepts using only the cues from the left. It's active recall baked right into your notes.
Now you might be thinking, okay, this is all great for school. And it is. But what you're actually doing here is building a professional toolkit that is going to pay off for the rest of your life, no matter what career path you choose.
I mean, just think about it for a second. A nurse has to read and quickly understand a complex patient chart. An architect has to interpret intricate blueprints. An auto mechanic has to decipher technical manuals to fix a modern car. The skills you're building right now, reading dense material, pulling out the key info, and taking usable notes, are the bedrock of professional success in almost any field you can imagine.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to think about. After everything we've talked about, from the SQ3R method to the Cornell Note system, what is one thing, just one small thing, you can try to do differently with your reading today? Because turning this knowledge into action, that's where the real learning begins. Thanks for tuning in.